Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Dewey, and this is your very first team comp video for The Division. If you guys are like me, you cannot wait for The Division to be coming out next week. And if you guys are really excited, stay tuned. I've got a ton of awesome content planned for this game, starting with a couple of these videos, which are team comp videos. These will be videos that are focused on the different members that you'll have specifically in the Dark Zone. Now, will they work well in the PvE areas? Yes, but I'm talking about where all the fun happens, and that fun happens in the Dark Zone. So while I'm kind of getting into this, talking a little bit about it, I'll have a little bit of footage of the PS4 beta that I participated in a couple of weeks ago, and some Dark Zone time of me and some friends running around having some fun. But I've played the PS4 beta a couple weeks ago, and I got the chance to play on the Xbox One in the beta most recently. Now, if you guys are wondering where I'll be playing the game primarily, it'll primarily be on the Xbox One going forward, and that's kind of where me and all my friends are playing. So I invite all you guys to add me on Xbox One and come and join me and play around and that kind of stuff. But to the meat and bones of this video here, we're talking about team comps. Now, a lot of you guys might be a little confused. What do you mean by team comp, Dewey? What is that? But a team comp is a team that you can put together, and as many of you guys know, there's lots of different kind of skills and perks within the games. This specific one is going to be called the Holy Trinity, and it's going to be a 3-person team comp. Now, you might be asking yourself, but Dewey, you can have up to 4 people in your party in the Dark Zone. And yes, that is true, but sometimes you're going to find yourself minus that 4th person, and this is really for those smaller parties to get together and prove that you can still be very successful, because you can. If you guys are wondering about the different types of play styles, I'm going to have a video on how to play in the Dark Zone if you're alone, and how to play it with 4 players, with 3 players. They're very different games when you play them that way, but we'll dive into a different video. This one is the team comp. So let's get into it right away here. This is actually a really cool online tool, so a huge shout out to my deck. They've got basically like this online skill thing where you can go through, you can look at your talents, your perks, your skills. Now, this being before the games actually come out, some of this is incomplete. And, you know, it's no fault of their own. They just don't know what some of these things do. For instance, no attributes, no data. We don't know what it does. So all of this is kind of theoretical, but that's part of the fun. It's theory crafting. So the very first person I have in this Holy Trinity kind of team comp that I have is a tank. Now, the reason I call this Holy Trinity is because it's the Holy Trinity of all MMOs. You have a tank, a DPS, and a healer. So the 2 skills that I have on the tank are going to be the Ballistic Shield, specifically looking probably as this with this data as converting small portion of the damage to healing. The real goal of this tank is to just really be, you know, to absorb damage and to get more, you know, to be up in the front lines, to be able to kind of tank it and scout for your team. You're going to have to be really careful of flankers, but really you're going to want to be up in the grits and up in people's faces trying to determine, you know, how to, you know, kill the enemy team if so needs. So the second skill that I'm going to have is actually the Sticky Bomb. When you are missing a player, you're going to have to make up for some of the damage that you're going to be missing from having that 4th player here. And Sticky Bombs are just such a solid skill. You know, I'm sure many of you guys ran into the teams that would just be able to plant all 4 of these down and instantly insta-give some of you guys. That's part of what's going on here. You have a lot of different utilities that's going on here. I really liked the flashbang one in the beta. Being flashbang when you actually get flashbang is really disorienting, and so that's something that you can really use to some good potential and some good power there. I know a lot of one of my friends used the bleeding effect. This will come into a little bit more favor a little bit later, but as we discuss that, we'll kind of get into that. So again, the Ballistic Shields and the Sticky Bomb, Ballistic shield, I suggest you use this this mod over here, but as far as the sticky bomb, it's kind of situational, but probably, you know, why not? BFB, yes, BFB might as well deal a little bit more damage. So let's go ahead and take a look at the perks. So let's see here. We got like a ton of different perks here, and you might think that, and you might think you want to spec a lot into these, into the security role, because, you know, tank, shield, that's what you're expecting. I'm not exactly sure how all these talents are going to work, but it seems that after a while, see if we hover over here. Come on, do it for me here. Well, you can equip 4 at a time. And I'm thinking you can grab from any tree here. That's what I'm going off of. That might not be right come launch, or it might be patched so you can only take it from one tree. But assuming you can take it from multiple trees here, one of the first ones that I want to take is Precision. Now, the reason that you have this is because your front line is probably going to have an assault rifle, and potentially your secondary weapon is going to be something that's is able to lay out a lot of DPS. So either like an assault rifle LMG with a shotgun and or M1A1, or you go with the LMG assault rifle and I don't know. The M1A1, and I'll talk about this in another video that I planned here, but the M1A1 is, in my opinion, one of the most broken guns in this game. It's a little ridiculous, and I'll go into that a little bit in a different video. But here we have Precision. The reason I really like this is if you have that LMG, that assault rifle, you're going to be pinging the headshot a lot, which allows your teammates to know exactly where everyone is and have a good location where people is. It's scouting, being up in the front, and making sure that your team is able to lay down the fire around them. So the second one that I have here is the critical save. Now, where did we put that? I believe there we go. Critical save. Use a med kit during low health to increase damage resistance for 40% for 10 seconds. This is really important because, like I said, you are going to be up in that front lines, and since you don't have the heal skill, you're going to be using these med kits, so you're going to want to be able to soak up a little bit more damage, and this will help with doing that. The next one that we have is Adrenaline, which you're going to have to forgive me. I'm not 100% familiar with all of these tactics yet, so it's I gotta find them here. Adrenaline, there we go. Use a medkit when not at full health to receive a little bit of overheal. I'm not entirely sold on this one, but just kind of judging by going with the pure tank stats, this is definitely something that you want to take, just because it gives you a little bit extra health. That overheal allows you to absorb a little bit more damage. And then finally we have Evasive action, which is somewhere around here. There we go. Evasive action during cover to cover movement, incoming damage reduced by 30. Again, going with that damage reduction perk here. This is something that a lot of tanks can kind of look at to take, and just kind of, not just for the Holy Trinity, but as a tank in general, you are going to be moving up in that front lines, moving from point A to point B with cover, and why not, you know, use the mechanics that are there, that are set, make yourself a little bit safer by reducing that damage by 30%. Now, in terms of the different talents and the different things that you're going to be speccing into, I don't believe that we're really going to have it here, but you're definitely going to want to be speccing into your health, which I believe is the security, or the medical side, excuse me. Because there was DPS, there was tech, and then there was health. You definitely want to be speccing into health and trying to get that up as much as possible. Like many other MMOs, like many RPGs, you want to be having lots of different weapon sets, and once you start getting those max weapon sets, you kind of want to try to have one of each skill. Have something where you can max out your security, have something, or max out your health, max out your tech, max out your DPS, so that way, you know, you can play jack of all trades if you need to, switching back and forth. So first we had our tank, somebody who's really tanky, somebody who can take a lot, who's in the front lines. The next in the Holy Trinity of RPGs, MMOs, we're going to have our DPS. This is going to be someone that's going to be holding back a little bit, kind of mid to long range, and somebody that's going to be able to lay down all the damage that you could possibly think of for your tank and for your healer. This is going to be someone that is probably going to be primarily equipping either the M1A1 or the bolt action. I forgot what I think it's the. I want to say the. I can't remember the name, and I'm not gonna get it right. But the bolt action rifle, depending on how good you are with that, the M1A1 is a little bit better for rapid fire, and in my opinion, something that is probably one of the best weapons in the game right now. But if you're really good at hitting those headshots and you have confidence in yourself that you're going to nail those every single time, then you probably want to be using that. For the skills here, I'm going to go with the sticky bomb once again, just because stacking the sticky bomb is really, really good with this. And also, they're probably going to go into the bleeding one, just because some of the talents that we might want to be taking. And then the other one is the turret. I actually spoke with one of my good friends, Cat in the Hat. You'll see him in some of the videos here. And while I kind of talk about this, let's just replay this video from the beginning here, so that way you guys can check it out again. But I was talking with Cat in the Hat, and he's one of the primary DPSs that we have. He kind of stays back. He likes to snipe a lot. And he's saying that the turret was really good, not only for the different utilities that it's going to have, so potentially the Dragon Breath, so having a flamethrower, or action sensors, so that way it can mark people, potentially even the shocking, the Zapper turret, which there wasn't too much experiments with shocking in the beta. I'd like to see a little bit more with that and see exactly how that affects it. I think that's going to be super, super good. I think it's actually going to be one of the best conditions. But anyways, he said that the turret was one of his favorites, and that it really helped with people, with being able to watch out for flankers, with not only being able to lay down some additional fire. So turret and sticky bomb are kind of what we're going with. And then in terms of talent, now this is where I want your guys' opinion a lot. I can kind of look over some of these guys here, but what do you think about, what do you think we should be giving the sniper? What should we be giving our DPS? I like the Shrapnel, especially if you're going to be taking the sticky bomb bleed mod, just to be able to give out as much condition as possible. If you guys played Guild Wars 2, if you guys are familiar with the game, it's a game that I really like. Condition stacking is a really big thing on there, and then I think that's something that DPSs are going to want to really hammer down, being able to stack those condition, because it prevents people from just being able to medkit spam and be able to heal, lays down that additional pressure, so you can't just group up and clump up and kind of wreck people. So I know one of the other things that, let's see, we're going to go with police up here. Kill hostile with any skill for 25% chance auto refilling all ammo types. To capacity. This is going to be really good, especially since the DPS's skills are going to be both damage skills. So you are going to be wanting to kill off people with those, with your skills there. So I think this is going to be a very valuable option for that. And then Fear Tactics, another one here. Applying shock to any target triggers a 30% chance to apply effect to all targets within 10 meters. Even if you don't end up taking, if you take the shock turret, which is something that I was suggesting you take, this is great because it gives that chance to apply that to everybody in the vicinity, which is just freaking fantastic. And then let's see here. Where is what is it? Shooting range here. Nope, we don't want that. Stopping power. Stopping power is actually something that's really interesting. I haven't really seen the effects of suppression, specifically in the PvP type areas, so the dark zone. I'm not sure how that's going to communicate there, but let's actually go back to the perks here. Now, you've seen the entire video, but in stopping power, I'm not sure how that's going to affect everything. Or suppression, excuse me. Are they going to be able, are you going to be able to suppress people in the dark zone? And is that really going to give you that bonus? The 25% headshot damage, and I believe there's one that's movement speed. Yeah, the increased movement speed by 25% for 10 seconds. That's huge. So is that something else that we want to put on there? Is suppression going to be a big thing? I think that the suppression skills are going to be really good for the flanker, which is a little bit of a preview of a 4-player comp that I have thought up here. But that's kind of what we're going with here. Killing explosive with kill a hostile with the explosion, increase the damage by 40% for 15 seconds. huge for the DPS, especially if they're going to be spamming those grenades and that sticky bomb. This is something that is absolutely necessary for the DPS to take and to make sure that, you know, you're getting that increased damage. 40% is ridiculous. Like increased damage by 40%, that can be game changing. And, you know, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see that get changed a little bit on here. Where is there's one here. There we go. One is none. So especially for those of you who are using the bolt action rifle, this one is huge. Headshot to a hostile has a 50% chance of not consuming a bullet. Oh shoot, there was I can't remember the sniper rifle in Destiny, but there was a really legendary one that was really famous for this. This is something that you definitely want to equip as a sniper. So give you a couple options there, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for DPS. Again, in terms of what you want to be speccing into, of course you're going to be speccing into weapon DPS as the DPS because you're wanting to deal as much damage as possible, and you have to kind of rely on your tank and your healer to make sure that you don't go down. So let's go ahead and move on to the final class here, and that is going to be the healer. This is going to be someone that's heavily specced into their tech role to increase all of their abilities and make sure that you have. Oh, I forgot to say about the DPS. Well, I said the bolt action and the M1A1, in addition to a assault rifle, is probably what you're going to be looking for the DPS. For the healer, assault rifle, most likely. And again, I can't skip the M1A1. It's just really hard to potentially sub that in for LMG, assault rifle LMG, just to be able to lay down a little bit more fire. Again, this isn't the healer that you would traditionally expect for RPG MMO. It's going to be something that's still very heavily involved in the combat. You're not just sitting back and healing, but your primary focus is to make sure that, hey, you're looking out for flankers. Are you making sure that your tank and your DPS are they modded up? So with this, I'm going to go with the support station with the revive, chance to revive downed allies. Resurrection in these type of games is of the utmost importance. I cannot stress that enough. Not only as a healer, but as every single role. If you see an ally down, an ally is always more valuable than a chance to get a headshot or something like that. Having an extra person on your team is going to be hands down better than anybody or any skill that you'll be able to have. So that, going along those lines, you definitely want to be taking the support station, and then finally, and also the first aid booster, defibrillator. It's interesting, depending on how much you're expecting your party to die. So maybe new parties, if you're working together for the first time, you might want to bring something like the defibrillator. It allows you to res people from really far away. You can go, this is a skill shot, you can shoot it out, res somebody. Additionally, you can temporarily increase the damage for all effective targets. This would be really good potentially for a flanker support later on. But I definitely, so first aid and the support station, 2 musts for the healer. Let's go into the talents. Battle Buddy, which is revive down agent to reduce incoming damage 50% for 10 seconds for both players. So this is, again, hammering down the fact that if you need a res, you go ahead, res, find your friends, find your teammate, res them up, and all of a sudden you are both taking 50% less damage. This is really big because a lot of times the enemy team, they're looking for you to go res, and they're waiting to lay down those sticky bombs. So if you can get them up a little bit quicker, that's great. Be on the lookout for, and one of the big things with this is you don't know what skills are coming, right? We don't know what weapons are going to be out there. We've only seen a couple of those rare legendary weapons, so we're not exactly sure what's out there. There might be something that reduces the resing ability or something like that, so just keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. Triage is going to be the second talent that I recommend. The heal an ally with a skill, you reduce all skill cooldowns by 15%. I'm a huge League of Legends player. I've played tons and tons of League of Legends, and there continues to be one most valuable point in any kind of game or any kind of item. You look for that cooldown reduction. It increases your damage potential and your just helpfulness, especially as a support. And as a support main in many of these types of games, you want to be reducing your cooldowns because that's where your effectiveness lies. So Triage and Battle Buddy so far, we're gonna go with. Let's see, where is Combat Medic? Where is that bad boy? Come on, Combat Medic. Use a med kit in your allies to heal group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%. So it's just increasing your healing abilities. If you run up to a group, heal. You can definitely heal a bunch of people using this intelligently. So running up to just behind your enemy, just within range of your allies, and still out of sight of the enemy. And then healing is going to be, a lot of times game changer, and that specific combat, you're going to be able to manage healing a little bit better. Use your med kits more for your allies and less for you. And then finally, I have actually Shrapnel as a ability for the medic. It strays away from a little bit, but it also kind of enforces or reinforces that idea. I would say either Shrapnel or Wildfire, one of those two. But reinforces that idea that, the medic, the healer, is not just there for that purpose. You're still adding to the combat. You still have a weapon that's still going to deal damage. So you are going to want to be using this. This is the only class that I might not suggest to M1A1 on. If you do, I probably would suggest equipping a non-scope to it, so something like a red dot. Basically, the reason behind that is you don't ever want to be caught scoped as a medic, because that means you're not paying attention to the battlefield and you're not paying attention to your allies, flankers, and everyone around that, and leaves yourself and your team vulnerable. So again, speccing into skill power is exactly what you want to do with a medic, increasing all your skills and making sure everything's a little bit better. There's not one more important version to this team than the other. All of them are critical, and all of them are going to rely on each other to an extent here. So, it's making sure that, if you go into a team saying, hey, I can fill all the roles here. I'm probably best at a DPS, or I'm best at being a tank or a medic, whatever you have it. Be a support main like me, and try to be in there healing people all you can. So I'd like to know what you guys think of this video. If you're looking forward to any other videos that are kind of like this, let me know what you guys played in the beta, and let me know what you guys think of Division. Are you guys excited? Do you have your own team comps in mind? Like I said, I have a lot of different videos planned around the Division. This is just the start of many. So I hope to see you guys in the Division, and I hope that you guys have a great day. So thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.